Salgova, 4 people injured. The on-duty doctor at the hospital in the city of Kurchatov, MSC 125, refused to admit them.
Mystery explosion caught on video in Russian Arctic near secret Putin military base. One of two massive explosions has been filmed at a location close to Vladimir Putin's Severomorsk 1 naval air base, weapons storages and bunkers in the far north of Russia. Footage shows a massive explosion in the far north of Russia close to one of Vladimir Putin's secret military sites. The detonation, one of two, was only around 8 miles from the Severomorsk 1 naval air base, weapons storages, and bunkers. The military hideout on the Kola Peninsula is home to Russian fighter jets, bombers, and maritime surveillance aircraft. There was no clear explanation as to the cause of the explosions. One theory was that a Putin missile experiment had gone wrong, not for the first time in this region, with a devastating impact. There were 2 explosions, said a woman quoted by the Barents Observer. I live on Starostina Street, on the 8th floor. The house was shaking. It was terrible. This came on the day Putin was being quizzed in an annual session on nationwide TV. Reports indicate 2 explosions shaking windows and walls. The ignition came soon after Putin had finished his marathon TV call-in and press conference session, in which he had blamed the West for tension in the world. An innocent explanation is that it was the disposal of substandard ammunition, as is periodically carried out at a special detonation site near Severomorsk 3. Yet locals reported their houses shaking in unusually powerful detonations. Tormod Kverna, scientific advisor on seismology and test ban monitoring with Norsar, said his station recorded a signal which could have meant a huge explosion. At about 14:45 in a clear sky appeared 3 bright plasmoids, bright white light with a periodicity of 30 seconds, which smoothly descending moved to the ground in the area southeast of Severomorsk 3, said one observer. Putin boasted that his military operation in Ukraine has strengthened Russia and denied that the ouster of key ally Bashar Assad in Syria had hurt Moscow's prestige, as he took questions at his annual news conference. Sending troops into Ukraine in 2022 has boosted Russia's military and economic power, Putin said, adding that if he could do it over, such a decision should have been made earlier, and Russia could have prepared for it in advance and more thoroughly. Russia has become much stronger over the past 2 or 3 years because it has become a truly sovereign country, he said. We are standing firm in terms of economy. We are strengthening our defense potential, and our military capability now is the strongest in the world. Putin, who has held power for nearly a quarter century and began another 6-year term earlier this year, said the military was advancing toward achieving our goals in what he calls the special military operation in Ukraine. We don't abandon our own? The Kurchatov medical unit refuses to accept the wounded. They are simply turned back.
Salgova, 4 people injured. The on-duty doctor at the hospital in the city of Kurchatov, MSC 125, refused to admit them, said, "Take them to Kursk. We have no vehicles, no places." That's the kind of doctors we have. So, I don't know. I will contact the Ministry of Health. I will write directly to the President to get some assistance. These are still our guys, wounded. They're fighting for our country, and they get treated like this. Yesterday they also brought wounded soldiers, said they don't have time. Take them to Kursk. The guys were sent out to the street. Vladimir Vladimirovich, Ministry of Health, I'm reaching out to you. Please assist, somehow help us.
Rilsk, Kursk Oblast. Sources report a missile strike with a cluster warhead on facilities of the Kremlin regime.
Горит. Ебать, смотри, тут разъебано все.
Вообще все.
Ебать, пожар.
Машина
Ебать,
горит.
машину въебали.
Машина горит.
Пиздец.
Все,
Смотри.
Смотри, там вообще.
Хуярили автостанцию сейчас вот. Сегодня 20 декабря, 15.
The Ukrainian Security Service, SBU, has formally charged the Deputy Chief of the General Staff of the Russian Armed Forces, A. Kim, for orchestrating a ballistic missile strike on a civilian target, the Sapphire Hotel in Kramatorsk, in August this year. If I were in his shoes, I'd steer clear of electric scooters. The Russians report a successful counterattack by the Ukrainian armed forces near Kamyanska in the Zaporizhzhia region. Today, they mention 50 soldiers involved in the operation, but just yesterday, they were sounding the alarm about a breakthrough attempt. Details about the situation in the Zaporizhzhia region previously reported. The enemy, with a force of up to 50 personnel, presumably Special Operations Forces, successfully launched a counterattack in the village of Kamyanske, Vasilivka district, Zaporizhzhia region. As a result of the battle, the enemy managed to push our units back from their positions and advance. After this, the enemy brought in reinforcement units to secure their gains. However, they were unable to completely dislodge our forces from Kamyansky. Gunfire in the outskirts of Vasilivka was related to attempts to shoot down enemy drones. A Russian BTR transports paratroopers to their position and, while unloading a group of soldiers, runs over two of its own troops with its tracks. The rest of the occupiers show no reaction. Nothing extraordinary happened. Agents of the Freedom of Russia Legion infiltrated the territory of a Russian military unit and set fuel tankers on fire. According to reports, operators of the Russian Freedom Legion penetrated a Russian base in Novosibirsk, set fire to several fuel tankers, and exfiltrated cleanly. Textbook operation. Donald Trump's team has told European officials that the incoming U.S. president will demand NATO member states increase defense spending to 5% of GDP, but plans to continue supplying military aid to Ukraine. The U.S. president-elect's closest foreign policy aides shared his intentions in discussions with senior European officials this month, according to people familiar with the talks, as he firms up his policies towards Europe and Russia's invasion of Ukraine. During his White House campaign, Trump vowed to cut off aid to Ukraine, force Kyiv into immediate peace talks, and leave NATO allies undefended if they failed to spend enough on defense, spooking European capitals. But in a boost for allies deeply concerned over their ability to support and protect Ukraine without Washington's backing, Trump now intends to maintain U.S. military supplies to Kyiv after his inauguration, according to 3 other people briefed on the discussions with Western officials. At the same time, Trump is to demand NATO more than double its 2% spending target, which only 23 of the alliance's 32 members currently meet, to 5%, 2 people briefed on the conversation said.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.